What's up guys, in this video we're going to do something similar to what I did in last week's video. So last week I took one of my wife's workouts that she would normally do at the gym and I explained what exercises I would swap out for what so that you could do that workout from home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my upper body day one that I would normally do at the gym. I'll walk through all of the exercises in this workout and explain what I would swap them out for or what I'm gonna swap them out for. And just for reference, what I have to work with is I have a bench right here, I have a set of resistance bands and a set of adjustable dumbbells. So everything that we're gonna be doing is gonna be dumbbells and bands. So if you have those two things, then you can do this workout. So real quick, going through the list, normally I would do a bench top set, which real quick, a bench top set is basically where you would do a single heavy weight set before going into your lower weight higher rep work. So if you have a strength focus but you're more working on your higher rep stuff at the time, that way you can kind of still be accustomed to handling that heavy weight, which that's kind of a more in-depth topic than we're going to talk about in this video. But I'm not going to do that simply because I don't want to do a heavy single with dumbbells. I'm working out by myself right now. I'm not gonna have a spotter, so I don't want to do a heavy single with dumbbells. So what I am gonna do is normally I would do a bench. I have listed on here 3 sets of 9, then 8, and I will be doing that with 240 pounds normally. But we're gonna be doing that with a dumbbell bench. And then the next thing is a chest supported row, which we'll be doing with bands. And I'll show you one set of each of these exercises so that you can get a visual idea of what we're gonna be doing. So instead of a chest supported row, I'm going to be setting this bench up so that I could do a resistance band row where I have the resistance band anchored to the door over there. A floor press, which we can just do a dumbbell floor press. We could do a preacher curl machine. We'll just do dumbbell curls and I'll show you how you can modify that. And then reverse pec deck, we can do a resistance band, reverse fly, and then lateral raise, do that with dumbbells. And then a overhead rope extension, we can do that with resistance bands. So I'll walk you through each of those exercises. So now let's get into the workout, and when we get done with the workout, I'll give you some tips, what I would recommend you do to kind of help you get in that right mindset. So I know it's a little bit difficult to get pumped up to kind of work out from home if you're used to working out at the gym. So I'll give you some tips on how to overcome that at the end of the video.
What it do, what it does, where you been, where you was, but it ain't what it is. Face in the mud, I really be hating in the mud. Said I can't pick it up, but I did. Y'all know Goon put too much bass in the sub. Cup full of blood and I gave it a chug. Wait till your neighbors get all snugged in, play this real loud where you live. This, that, for the kids, saw something strange, can't say what it is. Court case came, ain't say what he did. Make shit move, put a chain on the gear. Yeah, I've been on top of the tower, got the power, weatherman, gun cock in his pocket shower. Put you down with the squids, that's rocket power. I done hang with the guys and we talk for hours, yo. I feel like a doctor on late shift. I done ran out of my patience. I done no trouble out in Vegas. I say I don't have to page. Don't try to save it related. I come to the reunion looking like Jason. It's that black entertainment. I should have been on the base. Get out here and work like they kidnapped your family. Get out here and work like they kidnapped your family. Who there trying to say that they put in more work than me? Get out here and work like they kidnapped your family. Speeding head hanging out the car. Driving down the street with no regard. Where I'm going, I do not recall. My teachers always said that I'm bizarre. Like a ring, I keep my circle small. We back and forth, I'm Raphael Nadal. I ain't really worried, not at all. You either eat your words or you evolve. Comfort is the enemy. Catch me hanging where the winners be. I don't even use up all my energy. I push through like human centipede. Anyone can be a to me. It don't really matter what your gender be. If you ain't really sentimentally, can already tell you what it's finna be. Flatline, mad grind, still ain't prepared, but you had time, had shine, y'all slow, so I had to spit it halftime. How you gonna be the man when he at prime? You don't know where you at.
So just as kind of a thing that I noticed that I'm gonna have to figure out is for the floor press, you can't really do floor press with dumbbells unless you have somebody to spot you. So what I'm doing for now is I'm gonna do 3 sets of 12 on the dumbbell incline. And really the only reason why I'm doing 3 sets of 12 versus 9, 9, 8, which is what I was supposed to do for floor press, is simply because with me trying to figure out all of this stuff, this is my first upper body day one at home, so I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go. So I really just didn't want to change the weights again, to be honest. So that's why I'm doing 3 sets of 12. That way I can do 85-pound dumbbells, a little bit lighter weight, do a little bit more reps to kind of compensate for the fact that I've lightened the load a little bit. And then with the next session, what I'll probably do is I'll just get Tracy to hand me the dumbbells. That way I can do a dumbbell floor press. So that's kind of how I'll address that in the future. But right now she's busy and I want to get this workout done. So that's how I'm going to address it for now. Dumbbell incline instead of barbell floor press, which is what I'm supposed to be doing.
What it do, what it does, where you been, where you was, but it ain't what it is. Face in the mud, y'all really be hating in the mud. Said I can't pick it up, but I did. Y'all know goon put too much bass in the sub. Cup full of blood and I gave it a chug. Wait till your neighbors get all snug, then play this real loud where you live. This, that, for the kids, saw something strange, can't say what it is. Court case came, ain't say what he did. Make shit move, put a chain on the gear. Yeah, I've been on top of the tower, got the power, weatherman. Gun cock in his pocket shower. Put you down with the squid, says rock the power. I done hang with the guys and we talk for hours, yo. I feel like a doctor on late shift. I done ran out of my patience. I done no Trump out in Vegas. I say I don't have to page. Don't try to say we related. I come to the reunion looking like Jason. It's that black entertainment. I should have been on the base. Get out here and work like they kidnapped your family. Get out here and work like they kidnapped your family. Who that trying to say that they put in more work than me? Get out here and work like they kidnapped your family. Speeding head hanging out the car. Driving down the street with no regard. Where I'm going, I do not recall. My teachers always said that I'm bizarre. Like a ring, I keep my circle small. We back and forth, I'm Raphael Nadal. I ain't really worried, not at all. You either eat your words or you evolve.
Now, before I get into the tips for successfully working out at home, I did have some things kind of come to mind while I was doing this workout that I kind of wanted to bring up with you. So I had a plan in my head before I turned on the camera as far as how I was going to swap these out. But as you will learn if you're working out from home and you're used to working out from the gym, you're going to have to kind of play things by ear and change things on the fly. For example, normally after I do my bench press, I would superset the chest supported row and I would superset that with the barbell floor press. Now, I did not do this as a superset because I had to roll the bench in there to where the door was at, where I had the bands anchored down to do the rows, and then I have my dumbbells in here, which is where I was going to be doing this. So that would have worked fine if I did the floor press, because the bench was in there and I could have just laid down on the floor in here with the dumbbells. But what I didn't think about until the middle of the workout was what I was saying a minute ago. There's really no way to do a heavy floor press with dumbbells unless you have somebody spotting you. So that's one thing that I had to change on the fly. And then I ended up just doing all of my rows. And then once I was done with those, I came back in here and did the dumbbell incline bench. So that was one thing that I had to change on the fly. And then another note is for the preacher curl, which I did kind of the standing preacher curl with dumbbells with the incline bench. And the reverse pec deck, I did that just as a reverse fly with bands. And then lateral raise 24s, which are the same thing as lateral raise 21s, but I just added 1 rep per set. So the bottom half, the top half, and then the full range of motion reps, I did 8, 8, and 8 instead of 7, 7, 7. And then for the overhead rope extension, which I normally would have done, I did the lying down tricep extension with dumbbells. Now, I did all of that in a circuit, and that was perfectly fine. But the issue that you might run into is I am fortunate enough that I have a regular fixed set of 10s, I have a fixed set of 20s, and I have the adjustable dumbbells. So I can kind of superset things as long as the weights are low. If you have only adjustable dumbbells and you're having to do different weights with each set, you're not really going to be able to do supersets or circuits because you're going to have to change that weight between each set, and that's going to take 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, however long it takes you to do it. So by the time you swap the weights out and do the next thing, it would be time to do another set of whatever you were doing the first time. So it was kind of pointless. It would be pointless to do a superset or a circuit that way. But I was able to do it because I have different dumbbells and the bands in there, so I was able to superset, or circuit rather, all of these different exercises. But that is another thing to keep in mind. Now, getting into working out from home in general, this is actually my first workout session here. I worked out twice at the gym last week before things started getting a little bit worse, and then I decided that I would start working out from home. I ordered all of this that I'm working out with today, except for the bands, which I already had, and then all of that didn't come in until yesterday and today. So last week I had my 2 gym sessions early in the week, and then I worked out once at my parents' house because they have some weights, and then this is my first workout session here. So one of the things I noticed at my parents' house as well as here is if you're used to working out in a gym environment, everybody else is, pumping the weights, everybody else is into it, focused, and you can kind of, I don't know, you can almost feel that energy. You have that atmosphere where everybody's in there hitting it hard, and it just makes it easier for you to hit it hard. And then plus you're kind of used to, you leave home or you leave work or wherever you're at, you go to the gym to do that specific task. So it's almost like this mental cue. It's like a switch in your head where you get there, you probably have some pre-workout on the way, and then you get there, and then you have that mental switch that flips, and you're like, all right, it's time to work out, it's time to hit it. And it's a lot easier to get in that mindset. Whereas if you're working out at home, it's especially for somebody like me, I work from home with online training. I'm living here, I'm working here, and I'm working out here. So there's no distinction between those things. They all just kind of blur together, and I actually kind of caught myself checking emails and responding to client text messages, stuff like that, which I would definitely recommend not do. Turn off work when you're working out. So that's kind of my point though, is it kind of blurs together, and it's hard to flip that switch like you normally would and just get into the workout. Now, a few things that you can do that should help, and helped me a little bit with this session versus when I worked out at my parents' house the last session, is one, go ahead and get ready. Get ready like you're gonna go to the gym. Go ahead and put on some nice gym clothes. Last time when I worked out at my parents' house, I just kind of wore some older clothes, had on one of my older gym shirts, had on some older sweatpants, and I didn't put on my necklace or my ring or anything like that I would normally have on, so it just kind of felt weird. Didn't fix the mustache, none of that stuff. So when I got there, it just kind of felt weird. And then my dad was watching TV, my mom had fallen asleep on the couch, and then I'm just over in the corner of their living room with my headphones in, lifting weights. So it was kind of weird in that way. So what I did with this workout session is I went ahead and put on one of my favorite gym shirts, went ahead, put on the necklace, fixed the mustache, did all that. Even though I'm not going anywhere, I went ahead and put on my lifting shoes, which I would normally wear when I'm benching. So I did all the things that I would normally do. I took the pre-workout before I got ready so that would have time to kick in. So I did all of the things that I would normally do to go to the gym, and then I came in here to start lifting weights, which, setting up the camera and all that stuff kind of took a little bit away from that. But I mean, I did all that. I put my music on the surround sound system, cranked up the volume real loud, and it kind of helped create that gym atmosphere that you would typically be accustomed to. And then after a few more sessions, hopefully it'll kind of start to kind of compound and kind of ingrain that and help it to feel a little bit more normal or a little bit more routine. So, and that kind of brings me to the next point, which is just to kind of accept that your first probably several sessions working out at home, because I know, like I said, I've only had 2 home sessions, one at my parents' house, one today. I'm gonna go do deadlifts at my parents' house tomorrow because they have a barbell and I don't. So, it's not, I'm not in that groove yet. So that's another thing to just kind of keep in mind, that things aren't gonna be the same. Your first several sessions are likely gonna be not so great, and I'm telling myself that as much as I'm telling you that, just to kind of set your expectations accordingly. And so basically, all that to say, do the things that you're normally going to do. Get in that habit as much as possible. So do your normal routines. Just try to make it as close to a real gym session as you can possibly make it. And then just kind of accept that it's not going to be perfect. And that's pretty much all of the things that I wanted to cover in this video. In the next video Saturday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a budget gym build for people with limited space. So in case you didn't notice, in this video, I am definitely limited on space. And I know a lot of you people out there live in apartments, or you're renting a small house like we are, and you just don't have the room for a full home gym setup, and you might be a little bit tight on money with everything that's going on right now. So the next video will be a budget, space conscious gym build out, and then in probably the next video after that, so probably next Wednesday, I'm gonna cover everything that I have for my setup. It is definitely a space-friendly setup, but it's not quite as budget-friendly, and I'll talk about why I chose all of the equipment that I chose for this build out. And we'll get into that when the time comes. So stick around to the next video. We'll talk about budget gym builds for people with limited space. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. If you want more content just like this, consider subscribing and turn on notifications, because I'm gonna be putting out 2 videos per week for the next few weeks. So definitely don't miss that. And I'm also gonna be talking about this same type of stuff on the blogcast for the next few weeks. So make sure to check that out as well. That's treadawaytraining.com/blog. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you Saturday. Wash your hands.